On the Paper Talk today, we'll be looking at how Erik ten Hag is learning to cut his cloth accordingly with some budget, if you can call them that, signings. We've targeted a couple of players who should be around the £20 million mark, which might make sense considering United reportedly have around 100 million, 150 million if we're being ambitious, to spend in the transfer market this summer, which is going to take a lot more than that, really, to be honest with you, to catch the likes of Manchester City who've just gone out and bought some kid called Erling Haaland. Anyway, let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford as always, and it's pretty sunny, to be honest with you. My parker's on the floor. I don't even think I need it. Anyway, we'll get straight into it. It looks like Erik ten Hag's rebuild is sort of getting underway. He's having a few targets there. There's talk of several players coming in, and it looks like he is going to have to do it on something of a budget, if that's the right word. The reports indicate that he's got around 100 million to 150 million to spend, which sounds like a lot of money. Well, it is a lot of money, but when you look at the amount of players that Erik ten Hag is probably going to have to bring in, it's not that much. He can't go out and spend 110 or whatever million quid on someone like Declan Rice if that's going to be 2/3 of his budget. So he is having to cut his cloth accordingly. One transfer rumour that's doing the rounds is a story in the Metro that Stuttgart left back Borna Sosa is on Erik ten Hag's list. It says here, Borna Sosa has been identified as a key target for incoming Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag and could become the Dutchman's first signing at Old Trafford. Now, this is being reported in the Metro, but it originally comes from German publication Kicker. They report that ten Hag is a big fan of the 24-year-old and wants to link up with him as soon as possible when he takes over in Manchester. And his sort of price tag is around 25 million euros. That's 21.4 million pounds sterling, according to this report. So that seems like the sort of deal that you could make and still have a lot of money left over. Well, it is the sort of deal you can make and still have a lot of money left over. We know there's issues in the fullback positions. Luke Shaw, a lot of people rave about him, call him Roberto Carlos. For me, he's had a bit of a stinker of a season. I know injuries haven't helped. I also think if you look at his entire United career, what is it, 7 or 8 seasons now? How many of those have been consistent? 1 or 2, even, if that? I think he's had a couple of 6-month spells where he's been very good during that time. So maybe we need another option there. Alex Telles has been having a torrid time of it of late. So maybe this kid Sosa from Stuttgart could be the answer. As always, we'll keep you posted. There's another target on the horizon as well. This is a story doing the rounds in the Express. It says Manchester United prepared to make offer for 4th Portuguese star Gonçalo Inacio, help me out in the comments there. I'm probably getting that one completely wrong as always. And it says Manchester United are in the market for a new centre-back this summer, and United are understood to be preparing an opening bid for Inacio. According to reports from Portugal, the 20-year-old defender could potentially join up with Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot at Old Trafford, providing the Red Devils are able to strike a deal with the Primera Liga side, who are bracing themselves for offers for their startlet. He's saying, he just goes on to say he's had a great season. Iniasto's been one of the shining lights in the Portuguese top flight, a Sporting finished second behind Porto. So that's another one that you think there's not a price there, but apparently, I think that he's not going to cost the world. This is a 20-year-old. He's coming from Portugal, and we've seen good players, good young defenders come from there before, not for mega money. So we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But these are the kind of deals that you'd expect we should be making, really. I don't know whether 20-year-old centre-backs who've never played in the Premier League the answer, but certainly younger players who don't cost a fortune, maybe the way we've got to go, because we've got a limited budget, especially when you look at the fact that Manchester City gone out and bought Erling Haaland. They've gone big already. We need a massive rebuild, and buying one player for 100 odd million or 2 players for 75 million, it's not going to do it. We need to be a bit more transfer savvy. There was a rumour or a report doing the round that United were looking at free agents and looking at, a few sort of deals you could make there. Maybe 1 or 2 of them is the answer. We'll have to wait and see. There's a story in the Mail that says Manchester United delete social media update about Erik ten Hag's success with Ajax in the title race, in the Eredivisie title race. There was a tweet went out by United yesterday that said ten Hag signed maintain their advantage in a dramatic afternoon in the race for the Eredivisie title. And they deleted that. Yeah, it was widely lambasted. There's another story as well in the Athletic just about the FA Youth Cup final this week. It's on the 11th. Well, it's tomorrow, I think. Manchester United taking on Nottingham Forest. I'll be here. A load of Stretford Paddock will be here, and 65,000 United fans will be here as well. That's a phenomenal record, that. So there's a story in The Athletic just talking about that and how preparations are going and how exciting it is. And it is exciting. This is our first FA Youth Cup final since 2011, I think, which was the Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Ravel Morrison team, obviously a very successful team. Just finally, there's one story doing the rounds which sort of flies in the face of everything I've been saying about doing things on a bit of a budget, and this is about Victor Osimhen, the guy from the lad from Napoli. There's a rumour doing the rounds. I think this come from originally in Italy from Corriere dello Sport and also La Repubblica, saying that United are in for him and it could cost around 94 million quid, but that is open to negotiation. That would have to be a hefty negotiation. I don't see Manchester United spending 94 million pounds on any players this summer. Certainly not, no disrespect to the lad, but a 23-year-old from Italy or was playing in Italy, I should say, who's had a decent season, but he started 22 games, so there's a little slight question mark about his injury record there. We know United have had issues around injured players before, and currently. So do we want to take a punt on a lad who, admittedly, 13 goals and 5 assists in those games, very impressive, but doesn't play as regularly as you'd want someone to play, especially if you're going to fork out around 94 million quid for him, which, again, I don't think is going to happen. Just finally, what I mentioned a story, and I don't, people say to me, why do you mention stories that you don't believe in or that you think are nonsense? This is the Paper Talk. We will talk about what's being mentioned and reported in the papers, and I'll try and give you an opinion on it. And one story that was doing the rounds it came from Richard Keys. You remember, I think he used to be a weatherman in local sort of radio around here, or local television. Then he went to Sky. Then he had to leave because of unsavoury comments about women. He's gone to BN Sport now, where you can usually find him ranting utter dribble. And his latest blog was about Harry Maguire going to Chelsea. I'm not ITK. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that's a load of rubbish. But some websites have picked up on it. So yeah, I wouldn't look too much into that one. I don't think Harry Maguire's going anywhere, to be honest with you. I certainly don't think he's going to Chelsea. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Let's get to 700,000 subscribers by the end of the season. With your support, we can do it. Make sure you're checking out all the other content we've got on the channel as well. And we will be giving you some updates from the FA Youth Cup final. So if you're not able to get down here tomorrow night, we'll be giving you updates anyway. This has been the Paper Talk outside of sunny Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.